Hello, everyone, and welcome to this legal webinar run by Kaizen Synergy Law Firm. We're delighted to have you join us here at the La Trobe University Law School Kaizen Synergy Governance, Risk, Legal Compliance and Policy Centre. We are located right here in the corridors of the La Trobe Law School, where we run this governance, risk, legal compliance, and policy centre. Some of the work that we do actually specializes directly in NDIS legal matters, and we cover all spectrums of legal issues and support NDIS providers just like yourselves. So if you have any questions, by all means, reach out to us. Our centre is based here at the La Trobe Law School. And here we actually train lawyers coming through, working across both the undergraduate program and also the Juris Doctor postgraduate program, where we actually support lawyers wanting to move into community service organisations as well too. So we are the specialists in governance, risk, legal compliance and policy work, especially within the NDIS space. So if you have any questions coming out of today's webinar or legal matters generally, please reach out to us. Today's session is on NDIS standards and incident reporting. But before we actually go into this webinar and walk you through the specific requirements, what we do want to actually cover off is actually a range of legal resources that you do have access to. Now, as part of attending this webinar, what you do have access to is our Gemba 360 NDIS Legal Resources Dashboard. Now, all of you that have registered for this webinar do have access to this. You will see in front of your screen now the login to the Gemba 360 NDIS portal. You can use your login details that we have sent you, or if you are watching this legal webinar after today's live session, then please reach out to us and you too can also get access to the dashboard itself. So what we have when we log in, and when you log in, what you will find is these details here. This dashboard is used by a huge number of NDIS providers just like yourselves. The course of the legal webinars that we run here at La Trobe Law School in the Governance, Risk and Compliance Centre, all of the materials that we develop here are posted on this dashboard and you have access to during the legal webinar as part of the demo access that you can access. So as part of the demo access, you get general information and the legal webinar resources. You can have a look at the Gemba docs and have a look at all of our sample NDIS policies that have been developed, and we can have these tailored for you if you pick this up to use within your agency. But you can see here we have literally every single policy that you need covered off. In this dashboard, you also have the NDIS e-learning module that we have developed for NDIS providers, and a huge number of NDIS providers use this dashboard. And within this, you've got access, if you do take this up, across every single NDIS standard is covered here as part of the training. And a sample of this is that if you open this up and click on one of these resources, you can see that under every single standard is a training module that you and your staff can access across this dashboard. The other parts of this dashboard that you can see here is that we do also have every single register that your agency as an NDIS provider requires. So that includes the NDIS behavior support plan tracking, NDIS compliments, comments, and feedback register. You can see here, you can use this across all compliments, comments, and feedback. We've got compliance calendar ability for tracking, and even down to things like ability to actually integrate these with NDIS services to extend services out to your participants, vulnerability registers, risk registers, incident reporting registers, for example. We will come back to this today. And obviously, all of these registers have the ability to actually create charts automatically for you to improve your compliance work and make compliance easy as an NDIS provider. So I do encourage you, you can access this dashboard. Simply email us or give us a call on the number listed, or you can simply go to the Gemba website, click on the chat box and ask us for assistance. That being said, other NDIS providers also do access our law firm website, which again, because we are based here at La Trobe Law School, you can have a look at the services that we support other NDIS providers on, which is everything from literally small little questions that you might ask right across to major incidents or HR issues or governance reporting or the likes. And rather than just take our word for it, why don't just jump in and actually have a look at our site and actually view a feedback from one of our clients, for example, YLCP, who we interviewed, and they've provided a feedback of the works that we've done to help them prepare for the audit as well. So I do encourage you to simply have a look, and if you do have any questions, just reach out to us. So that being said, let's have a look at the legal webinar for today. Today we're focusing on incident reporting, and it is important for you as an NDIS provider to be across your legal compliance obligations. So today we're actually going to look at an incident policy, what a reportable incident is. We're going to look at identifying types of incidents and how to report an incident, and also what the NDIS standards are that you need to be across. So, very basic introduction. At the heart of disability support is safety, accountability, and care. As an NDIS provider, you would be well aware of these obligations. This presentation introduces our incident management policy, which ensures that all incidents involving participants are responded to promptly, reported accurately, and managed effectively. This policy has been developed in line with the NDIS insurance scheme reportable rules and supports our commitment to providing high quality person centered care. I do can just see on our chat group that a few agencies are asking if these slides will also be available. Absolutely. All of our legal resources that we do use during the legal webinar are made accessible, and that includes also our agenda dashboard for yourselves to jump in and have a look. So in terms of incident reporting, one of the things that you do need to have is a policy document. Now, this policy document should apply to all staff, participants, and contractors. And because it is an NDIS standard, we do suggest that directors be responsible for implementing this particular policy, and employees are responsible for reporting any violations or the policy to at least their general manager or the likes. So one of the questions that agencies do ask us is around what are the definitions around what a reportable incident actually is under the NDIS? Well, what is a reportable incident? An incident is defined as an act, omission, event, or circumstance that has or could have caused harm to a person with a disability. It is a reportable incidents are serious incidents or alleged incidents which result in harm to an NDIS participant and occur in connection with NDIS supports and services. This is actually quite a broad definition. Now, importantly, for an incident to become a reportable incident, it must satisfy two specific requirements. The first is that the incident must be defined as a reportable incident under 73Z4 of the NDIS Act, and the incident must have occurred or be alleged to have occurred in connection with the provision of supports or services that you, as an NDIS provider, are reporting. So there are a range of specific reportable incidents, which include the following: death of a person, serious injury, abuse or neglect, unlawful sexual or physical contact, sexual misconduct, or the use of restrictive practice in relation to a person with a disability, other than where the use is in accordance with an authorization, however described, of a state or territory in relation to the person's behaviour support plan for that particular person. Now, there are specific requirements for timeframes for reporting and incidents. Most incidents must be reported within 24 hours from when the provider became aware of the incidents. Now, there is an exception for incidents involving the use of restrictive practice that is unauthorized by your state or territory or does not follow a behavior support plan for the person with a disability. These incidents must be reported within 5 days. If specific information required in the form is not available within 24 hours, remaining info may be provided to the NDIS Commission within 5 days. This also importantly applies for any witness contact details or further actions proposed to be taken. Now, it is important that failure to report an incident within the timeframes may result in an infringement notice or another compliance action. Now, what we will suggest, and a lot of providers do this, is during this time, reach out to us. We're a law firm. We specialize in this work. We support NDIS providers just like yourselves. And some of you that are listening in can see the list of attendees that are joining us today, and welcome back to those that we do support. They've reached out to us and just ask us questions. It's as simple as that. Ask us a question around your incident reporting. We are a place where you can actually pick up the phone, you can email us, you can actually chat to us online, and we will be able to give you support around any incident matter that you have. And that also includes identifying the types of incidents. Now, some incidents are obvious, like something witnessed firsthand. However, others, such as abuse or neglect, can be harder to spot, which is why awareness and vigilance is so important. By identifying and reporting incidents early, we improve the safety of quality of services that you deliver. Now, these are definitions of specific physical incident types that cover the NDIS standards. And I'll just flick through those because I want to actually just cover these off briefly, but actually get onto an actual incident report to show you how this works and what you need to consider. So, the incident types can be defined as physical abuse, sexual abuse, psychological abuse, domestic violence, neglect, financial abuse. And it's important in each of these cases on how you actually report an incident. Firstly, you look at correctly identifying an incident and who this actually came from and what should be included. Step two involves an immediate response and reporting. For example, contacting the police if there is a risk of immediate harm which requires assistance, or contacting the ambulance if someone is injured. And then there is your provider responsibility. So it means then that you need to actually look at whether there was a need to report to other bodies, details of assessment and investigation, and what the initial risk was and any consultations that needed to occur. And then obviously the assessment by the NDIS Commission, followed by post-assessment possibilities. Now, what does that actually look like if we were to look at these 5 steps on a system side? Well, let's go back to our Gemba dashboard of where it sits. And we look at the form, and you can actually have a look at this after the webinar itself. So on this, you can go into the Gemba dashboard. We click on NDIS participant staff and incident report, and you can see I've got a few listed here already. Now, I am going to bring one up that we had and show you what one looks like. So on this case, it was reported by me. It was done on 4th of the 3rd of what it was. We had the issue with the medication. I marked this as high and it involved a medication matter. Once I select this, what will happen is the form will actually accordion up or down based on the questions that I place into the incident form. So it'll ask me the incident details, where it happened, all of the specific requirements that I mentioned in my presentation slides. If it actually involved the person or there was an issue, I can actually mark in on their figure and it will automatically come up here. It'll ask me if there was any witnesses and details of what their names and what their roles were, and then what the details of action were to action this particular part, and whether police, ambulance, or first aid was administered. Now, from here, what it'll then do is then give me a series of action tasks and plans that I can then fill out if required, and then what the dates were and due dates that I can see here. Now, in this case, there was no need to follow any other notifications. I marked it in, and this would give me whether there was a specific reportable matter. And if I selected one or more of these, then it would accordion out based on the reportable matter. And I can see here that this matter was updated and closed at 10:56 on 4th of the 3rd and marked as completed. So that essentially gives me the full workflow of the NDIS incident reporting form. And I've met all of my requirements that are here. Importantly on this, if I did have any questions, as I mentioned, then you can simply click on the chat box and you would be able to reach directly out or be put in contact with a legal support officer here at our office, and they would be able to support and work through an incident reportable form with you. And it's as simple as that. Now, on this, the NDIS standards, let's go back for this, for implementation of incident reporting and management. Well, it is very clear that implementing incident management is a part of your core obligations as an NDIS provider. It is important that a relevant and proportionate incident management system be in place and that all participants be safeguarded by you as the provider, and that systems and policies sit alongside it as well. And importantly, incidents are being learned from. It's also important that risks be identified, and this is something that auditors look for. So with this, it is important that you be across your NDIS incident reporting obligations. I do encourage you to reach out to us if you have any questions, whether that be about this particular legal webinar that we are running. You can reach out to us by email. Direct questions can come to me on my mobile, or alternatively, obviously, reach out to us here at the Trobe Law School Bundoora site. We are located right in the corridors of the Trobe Law School, and this is where the Kaizen Synergy Governance Risk Legal Compliance and Policy Centre is run. I do encourage you to ask us any questions that you might have as part of this. We look forward to seeing you at the next webinar. We will switch off today's recording now and open the phone lines for any questions that you might have. Thank you, everyone, for joining us during this legal webinar. Our next session is run on Wednesday, the 15th of April, where we will be covering incident reporting and risk management. And I do encourage you to register for the webinar, and we look forward to seeing you then. Take care and bye for now.